What's up guys, Gummer here and welcome back to another FC26 video where today we have the Ultimate Team Deep Dive. We're going to check out what the video has in store for us and then we're going to go into the pitch notes to fully explore everything new coming to FC26. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like rating, and let me know down below what you are most excited for in FC26. And without further ado, let's get into things. And so here we go, it is trailer time. We are going to see what's in store.
New in Football Ultimate Team for FC26.
So what we're going to do, quickly watch through all of this, sort of give the odd comment to what's happening, and then after that, we'll then go through the proper pitch notes. So I kind of want to watch it to explain what's going on properly. This sort of first few seconds is a full rundown of what's going on. It's the best way to describe it. Then we'll be able to go through everything that we actually want to have a look at. So 5 key elements, which is very important. 2 or 3 of them I think are going to be super important to actually enjoying the game. So, live events, this is going to be interesting.
Starting with the return of tournaments. Backed by popular demand,
I think this one I'm very excited about because it's very similar to high level gameplay, but not also being like consistently sweaty, which is nice. This could be quite good for us as well. So at least it will be similar to unlike draft where you can match anyone. This is better, I think.
To experience the intensity and glory of knockout football throughout the season. Gauntlets are a new live event designed to test your club depth, making every one of your players more important and challenging your ability to compete with different squads. Each gauntlet consists of a set number of matches. But here's the catch. You must use a completely new squad every single match.
Now, I'm going to stop that there because this is what I am super excited about. Individual teams per game is going to be super useful. I think this is how we're going to do it because it's going to be easier than me talking over everything going on. But the fact that we can use different players, it utilizes card collecting. It utilizes all those objective cards we get at the start of the game which nobody uses, or making sure that all packs are actually worth opening and worth keeping hold of those sort of decent 82 to 85 rated cards that you'd never normally use. EA are like making the game more enjoyable to those who collect, which obviously we all like doing at the end of the game, so we can start doing it at the beginning of the game, which I think will be quite good.
Unlike tournaments, you won't get knocked out when you lose, but the more wins you get, the better your rewards will be.
And this are quite like, it's not going to be as intense gameplay, which is quite good. That should hopefully help people out who maybe aren't as good at the game, but you'll still get good rewards for it.
House rules and newly added entry requirements, allowing you to qualify for events by completing objectives, such as winning a qualifier tournament. We've also made...
So I think that will be quite important to, again, going forward, not friendlies anymore, but this is basically taking over friendlies, which is kind of what we all wanted anyway. So I think, all in all, this is the revamp to the friendlies game mode side of things that we really wanted, which is good to see.
Big changes to rivals and champs based on your feedback.
This, I think, is one of the most important changes.
One-game objectives that pop up every few matches and give you a chance at immediate rewards. Complete the challenge and you'll earn weekly reward points, accelerated progress, season pass points, or even packs. Bounties won't always be about the win, with challenges like score the first goal giving you a chance to earn rewards regardless of the match result. Checkpoints have also...
So, bounties are going to be basically like quick objectives, which gives you half-decent rewards. Again, it's not going to give you the best things in the world, but it is going to give an extra bonus to playing the game rather than, oh, I've just got 400 coins to play in. You actually get a pack, which then obviously could be the next player that you need to go into the gauntlet to obviously have a different team. It all could be very, very important to grind this game at the start. And again, it's not just going to be about, oh, you have to win every single game. It's score the first goal. So then it makes it more enjoyable for you want to play attacking football. So you might also change your tactics for it. And it gives an idea of, okay, we can consistently change how we play, so we're not having to play this one boring way every single time. If you know you've got to score like a hat-trick in the first half, you're going to want to set up in like a 3-back and get all your players forward and try and score as many goals. But then in the second half, you can then just play normally and then try and defend and win the game that way. I quite like it. It's quite clever from EA, if I'm honest with you.
Been improved to help players who felt stuck in difficult divisions, with the addition of limited checkpoints, which allow relegation after a set number of losses.
I think that would be nice
We
as
heard
well,
your
so you're not
feedback,
feeling like
and
you're stuck
Champions
in a
playoffs
division.
are
I
no
think
more.
that could be quite
In
important.
FC26, you'll qualify for Champions directly by reaching a high enough division and earning Champions qualification points.
It was kind of
And
pointless
for those
mode at the
lower
end.
division
Makes
players,
sense.
We're introducing Challengers, a second tier of champions that allows people of different skill levels to experience the thrill of Weekend League. But don't worry, Champions will still be the pinnacle, with stiffer competition and better
I like this
rewards.
finish, actually.
We're building on our
Right, so with that, I think that's going to be quite important to... If you are one of the best, you will still get rewarded to be the best. But at the same time, if you aren't maybe the top tier or the top half of players, you still have a reason to compete and have competitive matches, still gaining good rewards, but you also won't get matched with people who will absolutely obliterate you, which personally for me, as somebody who is very mid-tier in terms of can fluctuate between 8 to 10 wins per week, it's quite important that I'm not always against the best of the best. So it might be that I am in the challenges, but that's fine because I'll still get very good rewards for the time I'm putting in, and it does feel worth it. I think that could be quite a nice thing that EA are doing
improvements
with
in
that there.
FC25 regarding disconnects. We know your stance and we agree. Players shouldn't be able to take wins away from you by quitting early.
Yeah,
We
this
also
I
know
think a
when these
lot of
quits
people are
typically
happy with
happen
right now.
and when they're the most frustrating. Late in a game, after a red card, or before a penalty. In FC26, if the score is tied and your opponent disconnects in any of these situations, not just by the menu, but by any method, you will receive the win. Evolutions are changed.
So that's just as simple as it is. Everyone's happy with that. I think everybody would obviously love it to be that even if it's not for one of those events and you just get a random DC, you get the win. But then that obviously could lead to stuff like hacks on like the PC versions, and you basically just manipulating the game to get wins. Obviously that can't do. So I think EA have got the best option possible regarding the situation. It's not a half time anymore. It can be just at any point in the game. It's the best thing they can do, and this I also quite like the look of.
As well. In FC26, some evos will be repeatable, similar to how it works with SBCs and objectives. Cosmetic evos will now also stack, and you'll be able to maintain the look of some evos so you can still boost the player's ratings without losing existing visuals. The Ultimate Edition comes with one extra evo slot, meaning you'll be able to evo 2 players at once from the very beginning of the year. We know these details matter.
So again, quite nice that obviously if you do get the Ultimate Edition, you do get that added bonus to the game to get something extra that some people won't have. And then if they do end up changing it that everybody gets 2, you'll have 3. So they've already announced that anyway. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's a nice added bonus to if you are paying a little bit more for the Ultimate Edition. Fair play to EA for doing that. In terms of evos, the fact that you can keep some of the cosmetics ones the same, you are paying coins and FC points sometimes, and then within the next evo, they get taken off. So again, EA kind of keeping it fair that you can keep some of the cosmetics designs. Again, multiple evos at once, very similar to the SBCs. I quite like that because there is sometimes where you have 2 different players that you want to put in that both could be in your team, that both fit that evo. All of a sudden, you have to decide, well, I'm going to make one player better, but one player still isn't going to get like an upgrade. It will allow you to do that. So hopefully there's not like every evo's the same like that, because otherwise it could get very difficult to find like unique sort of players. But if we get sort of like 2 or 3 that are half decent, at least we'll be able to do multiple at the same time. I quite like that from EA as well.
Each will make the Ultimate Team experience better, but the most fundamental change, and the one you've been the most vocal about, is gameplay.
This one will need to look into the deep dive to fully cover everything, but I do think there's quite a lot coming with this.
It's tuned to maximize 3 things: responsiveness, consistency, and control. And it's designed to deliver the fast, dynamic, and attacking football you've been asking for.
Now this will be quite good. If EA can capitalize on this and make it enjoyable gameplay, I think this could be one of the better years for gameplay that they have released. The problem is we just need to see whether they actually do any of these things.
More fluid dribbling, fewer AI blocks and tackles, fewer bounce backs, and more responsive animations in our gameplay deep dive. But there are
Again,
even more
if
ways
they do this,
gameplay
brilliant.
is tuned for player control and responsiveness. You'll see fewer goals from keeper rebounds. Although this happens in real life, we know it's a frustrating way to concede, and it feels out of your control. That's the exact feeling competitive gameplay is aimed at addressing. Player stamina is also being treated differently. As your players tire, they'll remain just as explosive and agile, but only when you're controlling them, to reward active defending and player switching.
I think that's really clever because, again, in normal game modes or normal sort of football, that would never happen. But we are playing a game at the same time. So EA do need to sort of tweak it to make it feel like it is a game. And at least this is going to be the opportunity. I think it's better from EA doing that. So at least they are trying to, I guess, address these situations and address these issues to make the game better, which hopefully it happens. I'm not counting on it till I see it, but if it does happen, it'll be much better.
Touch passes are also more responsive. Now, passes can sometimes be triggered in as little as one frame before receiving the ball, making your players more reactive to split-second decisions you make. Each of these changes makes the game feel more responsive and encourages you to be in control, which is the feeling we want you to have when you play Ultimate Team this year. Ultimate Team is about you, the players you love, your tactics, your favorite modes, the choices you make as you play. And we hope that by expanding FUT's competitive structure with more ways to compete, improving core parts of the FUT experience, and introducing competitive gameplay, that you'll feel in control, on and off the pitch. Look out for more FUT info in the pitch notes right after this and on our social channels.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to hop over to these pitch notes to actually fully see what EA are on about. So a new chapter for Football Ultimate Team in FC26, FUT is changing based on how you play and what you've asked for. So what is new? The competitive gameplay, live events, Rivals and Champs revamp, FUT matchmaking, outcome improvement, and then evolution update as well. So there is a lot here. I'm not going to go through every single detail. These pitch notes are available for you guys to fully have a look into, but just to cover over what they were saying in the sort of the deep dive video, and then obviously any comments that I've made regarding that as well. In terms of what we've got for live events, building on friendlies, live events are a new pillar for FUT's competitive structure. They're designed to bring more variety in what you play and the squads you use throughout each season. This is where you'll experience themed competitions which challenge your ability to build and play with different squads. So, entry requirements, completing a specific objective or objective group will allow you to play in some of these modes. In terms of reaching a Rivals division, again, if you are sort of Division 3 plus, you will be able to enter. If not, you won't be able to. So again, adds another reason to grind different parts of the game to unlock and access different areas as well. Rarity, club, league or nation count, again, we've had that before, quite similar to C. Player quality, again, special cards, base cards, stuff like that. And then chemistry or position rules. So it might be that you could need a full team of centre backs. EA could do that, and you've got to play cards out of position. Interesting to see if they would do that. We'll have to find out. Competitive rules and matchmaking, house rules, all basically staying the same, which is good to see. First to X goals, so we are going to see that golden goals style mode come back in, but again, could be the 2 or 3 goals depending on what EA want to do. There is match limit as well, so again, we have seen that throughout the whole of this year. We have seen that with the Mateus objective for footy, so I guess at least we're kind of getting a bit to the gauntlet in FC25 already, just to test things out, see if the community responds well to it. But again, quite good to see there. Solo only, co-op only, interesting, or open matchmaking. So we may see some tournaments or some friendly modes, basically meaning you have to play with somebody else. I kind of like that. That's where having a community is quite important, because if you don't physically have somebody to play with in your, say, friendship group, because they all play cards and you basically enjoy playing FC26, it will mean that if you're part of a community, you might find people that you can pair up with, and then going forward, you get used to playing with each other and therefore have a more enjoyable experience with that. So quite good to see there. Objective linking, rewards and your progression towards them are well known to friendlies fans, but often requires you to jump across multiple menus to track your progress. So this is basically saying you go into a friendly game, you quit out, but you need to see, have you scored 8 out of 8 goals, or have you assisted 10 out of 10 assists? Now you don't have to do that anymore, because they are going to be in that tab for you, which is really good. I think it's just a quality of life improvement that EA have done, which is nice to see. Same with the matchmaking, they have made that better. Per event win form, you match record in that specific live event only, which is good to see. And then global win form, you match record across other global win events. Don't really know what that means, but I think it just basically means that if you are if you've won 3 out of 3 games, you'll match people at that elo. You're not going to match, say, somebody at 0-3 when you're 3-3. I think that's pretty fair, to be honest with you. We do also have a new play menu. The default play menu has been reworked from the ground up in FC26 to make it easier to navigate, discover and jump into your preferred modes, allowing you to not only see new and upcoming events at a glance, but also their rewards, which is really good to see. It gives you like a full review of what's in that mode without having to basically click into it. I quite like that. What else have we got? For you, this For You tab is personalized hub within the main menu, surfacing the most relevant content based on your activity. So if you're somebody that only plays champs, you'll see champs first. If you're somebody that only plays drafts, you'll see drafts first. So again, quite clever that EA have done that as well. What else have we got? Tournaments are back. Tournaments may include specific entry requirements, objective, progress, division rank, stuff like that. Entry limits with refreshes, which is good to see. So again, sort of daily unlocks. This will be fun to see. I am quite excited to see how this works out, and does it sort of benefit the community? Does it make things more toxic? I'm not 100% sure. We are going to have to see how that works. The gauntlet, I'm super excited about this. I think Nepenthes posted a TikTok about it, basically explaining like the top 5 things regarding it. I'm super excited for it because we are basically playing it right now in some of these friendly modes that we've already got in FC25. So, Gauntlet, a new way to test your club's depth and your ability across multiple matches. Each Gauntlet consists of up to 5 matches. However, instead of using the same squad each match, you'll use a completely different squad for every match, including the entire subs bench. So that means you might need, across 5 games, what, you're going to need 18 different players every single time, possibly? That's a lot of players. Like, my maths isn't comprehending how many that is. Well, 18 times 10 is 180. So you're going to need 90 different players over 5 games. That's a lot of players that you're going to need that are going to be a good quality to help you. So again, that sort of whole card collecting, building a full like league team for Prem, Liga, and Serie A, Bundesliga, and the Spanish League, or every single nation, top nation, it could actually be quite imperative to allowing you to progress further, because if you are somebody that does card collect and you've got a better team than somebody that, say, is a good player but doesn't card collect, you might get that upper hand advantage of having that extra player that could make quite a big difference. So, interesting to see how that all ends up going. We'll kick things off with Ultimate Gauntlet featuring 3 rounds requiring 3 unique squads. So at least we know we'll be getting that to start off with, and running every 2 weeks to start off with. However, they have said it will go to every week if people do enjoy it. So at least it's not too much gameplay all at once. You can spread it out. You can take your time doing it. Again, if there's a million and one things to do at the start of the game, you're not going to have time to play this every single day. So if EA spread it out, it will help things out a little bit more. It's a format where squad building choices matter just as much as what happens on the pitch, which we've kind of just discussed there. So, FC Pro live events, we're not really too bothered by that, but there is the pro competitions to register for there as well. The Rivals revamp is there, which is nice to see. They're basically saying, our focus in FC26 is to bring more fan-requested changes to Ultimate Team. As we listed in our feedback on Rivals, three key themes emerged. That there's too many matches to play, especially if you're aiming for top rank rewards. 100% agree with that one. Once you climb divisions there and consistently match up against similarly skilled players, the motivation to keep playing can taper off. Again, kind of understandable. You sometimes need the easier games to want to keep playing, so that's quite nice. Hitting a good run of form can leave you stranded in a higher division that you might not belong to. So I could just get lucky with matchmaking, win 5 games in a row, but because I've got up ×2 multiplier, you go up to a whole new division. You don't want to be there, so EA are going to change that, which is good to see. We will kind of go through that down here. So the bounties, which is obviously those sort of mini objectives coming in-game. Again, as I sort of discussed in the video part, quite like that idea. It should work pretty well. Just as specific bounties that attempt to match you with an opponent on the same challenge, like score first, ensuring that one player can walk away with the reward. It also will mean that you'll both be playing attacking football, rather than, say, one of them is to not concede in the first half. One's playing 2 defensive, one's playing 2 attacking. So I think if EA can get that right, then that would be pretty good. Limited checkpoints are a new form of breakable checkpoints that tracks losses and enables relegation once broken. You'll see how many losses remain when selecting the limited checkpoints, and the number of losses before it breaks can be different between each checkpoint. So I guess this is basically saying that if you lose too many games in a row, EA will drop you down to hopefully get better matchmaking or more enjoyable matchmaking, to say the least. Champs and challenges are obviously the new game mode there as well. So we will have a set of rewards for champs and we will have a set of rewards for challenges. Again, both of them being decided by where you end up in terms of your divisions as well. Challenges for players outside the top divisions. We've had the challenges, new tier of champions in its own format and rewards. It's given more players a chance to experience the champions feeling whilst keeping champions at the highest level of competition. Fair enough, it's completely understandable. Competitive gameplay is getting a whole revamp, which is no shock there. Responsiveness, more consistency, and a higher player control, which is basically what we're wanting. You can get a full deep dive on these patch notes. I'm not going to go too much into the gameplay side of things because I'm useless at gameplay, so I probably can't explain them well enough, but definitely it is looking better. Rush match and outcomes / matchmaking delays. We know that the best rush matches are built on experience you have with your teammates. So when those teammates are quitting and disconnecting, it can be a frustrating experience. To encourage teammates in Foot Rush to keep fighting until the end of the match, we're introducing a matchmaking delay if you do quit early. Fair enough. I think Rocket League do this very well. I think there's a few different games that do it quite well. At least you are going to be punished if you do quit. It means that you kind of have to stay in the game, but I quite like it. Goalkeepers, repeatable evolutions, and cosmetic upgrades. Goalkeepers are going to be evoable in FC26, there we go, which is really good to see. Hopefully that should be pretty good, just to at least change some people's teams so you're not using the same 4 goalkeepers. It could be quite important. Repeatable evolutions we've already discussed about as well, and then cosmetic stacking and rarity. You can now evolve players without changing their item design unless a specific evolution changes that rarity. So hopefully not often it should, but sometimes it will happen. Evolution status is marked with a new badge, which is quite nice to see. That can also be used in the squad requirements, making it easier to track and build around evoed players in live events and Rush. Cosmetic upgrades now stack, so if you're getting sort of like a shapeshifter's design or footy's design on a card, and you got 3 or 4 of them, at least they'll be in the same one, so it doesn't sort of show up over a whole page of evos. That's going to be a little bit better. Even with the items rarity changes, animations and badges effects that aren't tied to rarity will carry over, plus evolutions, consumables now preview the cosmetics and the rarity they unlock, helping you choose the right path for your squad. Good to see there. Guaranteed transfer market access. What are we talking about here then, EA? Which limits some accounts' access to the transfer market when they first... This is now live. So basically, EA limited your access over the last 2 years. Now they won't do that anymore. If you start a brand new account, you'll have it straight away. I guess that's quite nice to see. I think about that though. That's pretty much it. Objectives. Previously, you would navigate the objectives in order to find available objectives and the rewards. In the new FC26 play menu, relevant objectives will be viewable with highlighting each game mode. So if there's something to do in squad battles, when you're on the squad battles tab, it will show you that off. So that's quite good to see. So that is pretty much everything. Quickly covered. I say quickly covered. That is 23 minutes, but I do apologise. I think we do need a full deep dive. And what I will say as a full review is this game is looking good. This game is looking like it should be better than any FC EA have released so far. I hope it's going to go down pretty well. We're obviously going to get plenty more news as the game gets closer to a launch. I think we are about 6 weeks away from launch now, so I am super excited by that. There is going to be plenty of content with that. Any sort of updates, news and stuff I will be posting as soon as I can, just to keep you guys updated as well. Let me know down below what you think of it all, if you've got any questions regarding this, or if you've got anything that I've missed out that is quite important coming to FC26. But for now, that's what we're going to leave for today, guys. I'm out. Peace.